This has got to be one of the worst downgrades in the history of football. Leverkusen having invincible Mr. Xavi Alonso, who got them to a European final and won them the league against a dominant Bundesliga that's always dominated by Bayern Munich. He came in and went invincible with very little. Very little. He did not get 300 million backed like Ten Hag. No. He had very minimal resources and he made it work. And now you're going to get Eric Ten Hag, who was backed for over 500 million with Man United and didn't get them anything significant. This is literally going to be Leverkusen going from, basically Schalke's journey of being a top team in a Champions League semifinal with the likes of Neuer and Raul to a team that nobody even knows where they're at. They're literally gone through a Man United phase, top of the league, top of Europe to second division, basically. That's literally what Leverkusen's about to do with Eric Ten Hag. And if it doesn't make it any worse, yes, you end up selling your best player, Florian Wirtz, for 150 million with add-ons included. You also sold Frimpong, as well to Liverpool. So these two lads are going to Liverpool for over 150 million in total. So you got some money to play with here. And then Man United fans, the most entitled fan base, came out. One of their biggest, fans, Mark Goldbridge. Liverpool have just handed Leverkusen 150 million euros for Frimpong and Wirtz. Ten Hag should instantly be wiring to United as an apology for Antony and Onana. Mate, if Ten Hag is going to be rumored for Antony and he spends 20 million, I don't think that's the worst thing possible. Oh, wait. He's actually monitoring it. Glad he's monitoring Antony. But I actually think Antony could work out. He actually could, because in the sense of, yes, he spent 100 million with United. Obviously, the Premier League's a bit much for the lad because, we seen him do bits in La Liga, got to play Chelsea and absolutely ghosted against Cucurella, who's not even all that, but I guess he can't really pass the Premier League test. But in La Liga, he looked good. Bundesliga's not too far off from La Liga. I think if you were to go, it's a low risk, high reward, because at the end of the day, they're going to be spending like 20 million for the lad. No more than 30 million. And if he ends up doing well, you could end up duplicating how much his worth is because he's still a bit young. And, Ten Hag has gotten the best out of him previously with Ajax. So he could save the lad. I'm not going to lie. But Onana, lost cause, lads. Lost cause. We all know that's a lost cause. 50 million for Onana is probably one of the worst daylight robberies I've ever seen. It is a crime to be pushing out the likes of David De Gea, who was a club legend, won you Premier League titles, and bringing in a record fee for Onana, 50 million, bringing him in, and him being as bad as he was, man. I've honestly gone to Sunday leagues in the US and seen better quality goalkeepers than Onana. And to put a cherry on top, the goal he conceded in the Europa League final was an absolute disgrace, mate. An absolute disgrace. And he's came out and basically saying like, I'm being unfairly criticized. And it's like, Onana, mate, you're getting criticized fairly, mate, because you've been absolutely terrible, mate. And I honestly think he doesn't get criticized enough for how poor he is. In Man United, at this point, I believe you have to kind of stick with it for at least another season because you did spend record-breaking money on Onana. And if you think that Eric Ten Hag was going to be like, you know what, I'm going to go save Man United, no, you pushed the lad out of the club. He's laughing at Man United, if anything, because imagine this. As a manager, you finish third place with United, and then, you don't have too hot of a season the following year. You kind of save it with a couple cups, but then the following year you are literally struggling and then they sack you midway and then the other guy comes in and then he brings you, a couple spots off relegation. Oh, he's laughing, lads. He's laughing because at the end of the day, he's going to be in a European competition while you're fighting relegation. So Eric Ten Hag kind of got the last laugh here, unless he fails like I believe he is with Bayern Leverkusen, where he's going to make him the next Schalke. Because honestly, Eric Ten Hag is not a proper manager. But the thing is, nobody works better than Eric Ten Hag with no pressure, man. We've seen what he's done with Ajax with having no pressure. Got him to a semifinal and was a Lucas Moura moment away from making it to a Champions League final. So when he's got a great talented squad and he has no pressure, this man becomes good. But when there's pressure on the line, we've seen, the Man United job was bigger than him, out of his depth. and now he's going to a pretty big job, if you ask me. Predecessing Xavi Alonso, who is a legend for Leverkusen as a manager, won them a league title, invincible. Got to a European final, like I said, competing with Bayern Munich, got second place last season. Xavi Alonso is a proper manager, but Eric Ten Hag is not. So this is definitely a step in the wrong direction for Leverkusen if you're going to let him handle all the money you've actually acquired from, players like Wirtz, players like Frimpong, maybe Boniface might be on his way out. Tons of players, Xhaka talks with Milan, but we'll see how he kind of shapes this up. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. Do you think Eric Ten Hag will succeed at Leverkusen or not?